Hello, everyone. I'd like to spend a couple of minutes talking about a book I was recently introduced to called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. It's not a new book. It's been out on the marketplace for about 18 years. However, if you've worked in teams, in an office, or a plant floor environment, I think you'll find a lot of relatable concepts within it. So let's talk about the first dysfunction of a team, and that is absence of trust. In this case, Patrick Lencioni uses the principles in a management parable similar to the goal or the gold mine and applies that to a fictional account of a team trying to work through issues. And in that first issue, the first one they address is that bottom base level of the pyramid, an absence of trust. Why is that important? Think about it. If you can't trust people, it's really hard to work with them. So let's give an example close to home. I'm here in Greater Kansas City. The Chiefs, after a 50-year drought, just won the Super Bowl. They came back in 3 consecutive games to take that victory. And in the day after the Super Bowl, as Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes went through and answered questions from the media, people asked them, how'd you come back? How'd you do that all those times? And each time they answered that question, one of the fundamental pieces of that answer was trust. They trusted each other. They trusted their teammates to get the job done and didn't feel at any point were they too far behind to make something happen special. So let's talk about another way of looking at an absence of trust, maybe some symptoms of it. If you're in a team and you don't have open debate each time you get together to try and work through issues, that may be a sign of absence of trust. Another way Lencioni in his book described absence of trust is having each team member exhibit invulnerability. That means not having the ability to open up, to share with others their shortcomings and where they need help, because ultimately we're trying to build that whole is greater than the sum of the parts environment in team problem solving. So as far as what do we do when we're working through problems, one of the first things, if I'm working with a team facilitating, is we will go through and do kind of a new introduction to each other, go through, talk about perhaps work history to make sure people are familiar where they're coming from, and also oftentimes share a personal account, a personal story that maybe not everybody on the team was aware of, to make each other a bit more relatable in that team environment. Ultimately, if we do that, we do it along with giving people a chance to give their initial impressions about the problem. This can help us focus and find a common understanding of what the problem really is, get some common buy-in, and ultimately come up with a common approach that all the team members can support when we exit that room. We'll talk more about the next level dysfunction, that second level, which is fear of conflict, next time. Till then, I'm Dan Pinkham, Principal Consultant with Lakehurst Consulting, with a lesson from Lakehurst. Have a great day.